Hello and welcome to Around the Globe with Female Cricket. Today we not only have a special cricketer but also an influential Instagram personality who has carved out a remarkable career in women's cricket which began at such a young age. Join me in welcoming Xara Jetly, whose first name may sound a bit interesting and last name quite familiar. Fun fact, Xara, who began her cricket career in New Zealand, also has her roots from India. So without wasting further time, let's say hello to Xara. How are you, Xara?
Yeah, good. How are you going?
I'm fine as well. Thank you for accepting our request to do this virtual podcast. There's just so much energy oozing out every video that you publish on your Instagram. I'm very curious to know the secret behind that.
I think I've always been a very extroverted person, and I think it's not something that I'm going to hide away from the world. I think professional cricket, it can come across quite serious in the women's game, and I think I like to kind of show the other side of it. But yeah, it's quite easy, it's quite natural, and I love creating content and entertaining, so I just want to put a smile on people's face and uplift people, so that's why I do it.
Yeah, I would say you're pretty good at it. So a follow-up question to that, were you this active on social media before you began your cricket, or you got active after cricket happened?
I would post here and there. I love social media. I've always wanted a load of followers, and I've always wanted to pursue content creation in some shape or form. I didn't think it was ever going to be cricket. So when I first posted my photo that went viral, I kind of decided to keep going, and now it's become a job and something that I absolutely love. So yeah, I guess I did post before, and I'm going to continue posting and put a smile on people's faces.
Okay, so let's go back to your childhood. Where did you grow up? Who else do you have in your family?
So I was born in Wellington, New Zealand, and so my dad was born in Delhi, and then lived most of his life in Zambia, and so I grew up with my dad and my grandma and my granddad always speaking in Hindi, so it was something that I kind of understand parts of the language here and there. I've kind of lost track now that I've gotten older, which is such a shame, but I think Dad's going to give me a few lessons, hopefully. My mum is a Kiwi, full Kiwi. I mean, she's got some English and some Irish on her dad's side, and mum's actually the sporty one, and my dad really wasn't. He's the smart one, so it's always really, really interesting that cricket, what India's favourite sport, I would assume, is not from my dad's side, which is just ridiculous. But so that's kind of my childhood.
So as you mentioned that your mom is the sporty one, so was she your inspiration to get into sport?
Yeah, mum's been a massive inspiration of mine. She particularly wanted me to be the next netballer for New Zealand, and I got told that I was too short, and my dad turned around and said, okay, well, you're gifted at sports, so we need to figure out a sport that you're good at, and cricket seemed to kind of stick with me, and I've fallen in love with it more and more, so here I am now.
How did your family react when you decided to pursue cricket seriously?
So my dad was really excited for me, because it's kind of, I would say, his dream in itself. And my mum kind of always knew it was going to happen. But when I got my first contract at 17, I got the phone call. My parents were in the room with me. And I just see a lot of joy on their faces, and all I want to do is make them proud. And I think I do that time and time again, hopefully. I have my moments, but they're huge supporters of me. They were really happy. And I think now it's, the summer is full of cricket, and that's what they love. So that's really cool.
We know your dad is first-born Indian and your grandparents are from India too. What's the story there, and how was your childhood back then?
Yeah, my grandma and granddad are from India, and I believe they're both from Delhi. So I grew up with all the traditional Indian foods. I used to go to a local temple in New Zealand and go with my granddad and pray. It was an awesome childhood. I grew up with the best culture, and I love India so much. It's a place I want to go to so much, so badly. And I'm hoping over the next kind of year or so I will be able to go over there and play some cricket. And I apparently have a lot of family over there too. But we've kind of lost contact. Yeah, from my grandma's side. My grandma had about 8 or 9 siblings, and so did my granddad. So I don't know where they are and whether they know who I am, but I'm on the hunt. So I'm looking forward to. I'm very much looking forward to go to Delhi. Yeah.
We all know you love cricket. Your Instagram feed just screams that. And you have played both in New Zealand and the UK. How have those different experiences shaped you?
Yeah, so I've played in England. This is my second season in England, and it's been awesome. I've been playing a lot of men's cricket, and that really challenges me mentally, and that's kind of why I do it. And I also play a bit of women's cricket every Sunday here and then. And yeah, look, playing cricket overseas kind of gives you a fresh cricket perspective, and I'm kind of with different coaches and gaining more and more knowledge about like my style of cricket, and that's really, really important for me. And look, I want to become a white fern one day, and so I'm going to have to sacrifice time from my family and I guess like my comfortable situation in New Zealand, and really start kind of thinking outside the box, like what's going to really make me the next white fern. So yeah, playing cricket in England, I've got a job and a role here, and that's to train hard, play hard and work hard. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
You joined Wellington Blaze at just 16 and got a contract at 17. With 4 titles already and heading into your 6th season, how has the journey been for you so far?
Yeah, the journey's been fantastic. A lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I think that's cricket for you in a nutshell. So I've had a fantastic experience. I mean, getting pushed into the setup so young, and quite quickly I understood what being a professional cricketer was mentally and physically, and it's pushed my limits and my boundaries, and it's made me a better human being. So I'm really happy. But look, the Blaze girls, they work hard. We all want to be successful in our own way. We all have a role that we pretty much master. I mean, we've been fantastic in the HBJ and the Super Smash competition, and we're very lucky to be surrounded by players like Amelia Kerr and Sophie Devine, Maddie Green, etc. So look, I'm in a thriving environment, and I have beautiful coaches, and I have fantastic managers, and yeah, everything is pretty much perfect. It's been fantastic.
When did you first feel that off-spin was your game? Was there a specific moment or a match that made you realize this?
Yeah, I was actually a pace-on bowler. I was a medium away swing bowler, and I got told at 14, 15 I was too short to be a quick bowler. So I've now they taught me off-spin, and it's something that I tried to master at 16, and I'm still not there yet. So we'll get there and turn the ball a bit more one day. But yeah, so yeah, I guess off spinning at 16, and then I was very fortunate to be surrounded by a spin bowling coach, Ivan Tessera. He was amazing for me, and now I have Lance Dry, my current head coach, and we've just been working time and time again on the spin.
Who's your favorite off spinner or the other spinners you look up to?
Yeah, I think, Charlie Dean is a fantastic off spinner in the women's game. Yeah. And I think she's fantastic technically through the crease, her energy and her presence, and she spins the ball a lot. And I guess there's also like Eccleston as a spinner. I mean, I know she's a lefty and a bit taller than me, but she's awesome to watch. And Nathan Lyon's another one. I'm always looking at Nathan Lyon's action. It's something I'm trying to recreate myself. But I think I've got my own way of spinning the ball, and I think it's about trying to figure out what that looks like for me. But yeah, those off spinners there, those spinners, yeah. And I guess being surrounded by Amelia Kerr as well, and her work ethic to turn the ball heaps. Her wrong-in is fantastic. It's always nice to watch. So yeah, surrounded by fantastic players, but those are kind of I would say, cricketing off spinning idols.
That clutch performance against Central Districts in the Super Smash, where you defended 13 runs in the 19th over, taking 2 wickets, bowling them out, and tying the match with the last ball dismissal. What was that feeling like?
That's great you've asked me this. That's that game I will never forget. I think that is the best thing to have happened ever in my cricketing career. And I'm reflecting a lot on the mental side of the game of that, and the control that I had is really, really important. When I bowled my first ball and I got that wicket, I was pretty excited, and I realized my expectation was kind of through the roof with my bowling. I thought naturally I was going to hit the stumps from then on, and I think complacency took over. And look, I started bowling full tosses, and I bowled one short ball. They've smacked me through for 2 boundaries, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm in a lot of trouble. And I was freaking out. So physically I was actually shaking in fear and in worry that I'd let my team down. But before that ball where I bowled them out, I had reflected on my preparation and trusted myself and my skills. I needed to bowl my best ball, and that's all that matters. And I've done that time and time again that year, so last season. So that I said to myself, don't let down this side. You've done everything you possibly can for this moment. Bowl her out. And I said that word for word, and I got her out, and I just can't believe it worked. I just couldn't believe it. So it was, I was very emotional and really happy, because it's just, the work that was required under the scenes to be able to perform under pressure like that has been something I've been working on for ages. And it's really, really cool that I was able to do it and pull it off. So fantastic point in my career, really, really happy. But yeah, there's been a huge reflection process in that one game there.
While you were sharing your moment, I could actually visualize everything in front of me.
For sure. Like, you're surrounded by, fantastic players in the Blaze, and then there's me. And, you've got massive names in the Wellington Blaze, and then you've just got me. And so when I was given the opportunity to win the game for the Blaze, I thought, this is the moment to make my mark. This is my moment right here, right now. And so I'm just so glad that I managed to pull it off and get us into the finals. I mean, it wasn't all me, I must admit. The work in the back end of that, such as Mealy and Lee Kasprick, fantastic bowlers. It sets me up nicely to bowl where I want to. So
you have played under both Amelia Kerr and Sophie Devine. How are they different as captains? What qualities in each one of them do you like?
Yeah, I think Sophie was my first captain, I believe. Yeah, and I think her cricket knowledge is just amazing. But what I love is her power, her energy and enthusiasm. I think she can really motivate a room, and she can really capture people's attentions, and she trusts every single one of us and our skills. And I think that's something she's really, really good at. She's a big motivator. And then you've got Amelia Kerr, who I think is fantastic. And the way she communicates, I guess her plans and her ideas is really good. And she's really transparent with everyone. And look, her knowledge of the game is awesome as well. So look, Sophie and Mealy have very similar qualities. And they're both, huge motivations of mine. And I'm very, very lucky to be surrounded by players of that caliber, and they're fantastic leaders. When they work together, it creates something that the Blaze needs to win games. And it's really, really cool as a young one for the last kind of 4 years to kind of watch that. It's been really cool.
You played under 15 with Amelia Kerr. Did you always see her becoming the player she is today? And what are your thoughts on her journey?
Yeah, Mealy's fantastic. She's a nice human being. I love what she's about. Her mental health journey is inspiring, and it's really, really important that people pay close attention to that, because I don't think people understand the work that is required to be an athlete like her, and not just her, but in general. A lot of athletes are dealing with a lot of mental health struggles currently, and I know I've had my moments, and I've been a bit quiet with that, but she's fantastic. Her story is great, and it's really empowering. And at under 15s, I'd been told for years that Mealy was the next big thing, and I remember our first game when she did get out on Zero. I've talked to my friend and I did say, I was like, oh, she's not that good, and I think it's so funny to this day because she ended up getting MVP overall for the tournament. I remember watching her throughout, thinking that she is just class. And you know what? It helps that she was a nice human being and a nice person, encouraging. And I think that's what makes it even better, is her being rewarded for her hard work, but also just being a humble-natured human being. And that's really, really cool. So yeah, really proud of her and all her efforts. She deserves it. And hopefully I'll be able to join her soon. Nah, we'll see.
Yeah, we hope that too as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes, we genuinely hope to see you play alongside Amelia Kerr, representing the White Ferns, and perhaps one day for Mumbai Indians in the Women's Premier League in India as well.
Yeah, no, that I think would be
Fair,
fantastic. The Indian Premier League is definitely a goal for sure, but we'll see how we go. Just got to trust this process.
Let's talk about your social media presence. You're quite active online and have a naturally photogenic personality. Have you hired a personal photographer?
I haven't hired, but I do have a personal photographer and videographer that I work with. And we have fantastic kind of content plans, and we've got more really exciting plans coming into the summer season. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, look, I'm just trying to lift my game every day, every week, every month. I love to entertain. It's become a fantastic job, and I have brands that are partnering up with me that are kind of wanting to come on this journey with me, and I think that's what makes it even better. I can put more investment into something that I love. Yeah, so I've also got I would say, social media manager who manages kind of relationships with all my existing brands, and that's been fantastic for me in terms of knowledge and brand relationship stuff, and it's been really cool. So I am building a team under the scenes slowly, and I'm very, very well supported in that.
How do you balance your cricket life, work life, studies and social media presence?
Yeah, I had to master the art of time management quite quickly because of cricket. But yeah, I think I use an AI assistant called Motion, and that's been fantastic. So that helps me heaps. But I think it's about mastering that kind of, not mastering, but understanding at what point of the day am I really, really productive. And that's early mornings, 5 a.m, kind of getting content all sorted and video editing late at night. But yeah, as prioritization is key for me. And yeah, I guess that's how I managed to get everything done in a week. But it's also allowing myself to have moments where I don't feel like I need to get things done and do work. I need to have moments for myself as well. And that kind of allows me to kind of settle down, move on, and then start the next day fresh. So yeah, that's kind of how I managed to get it all sorted.
Do you face criticism, and how do you handle it, in both on and off the field?
Yeah, I do get a heap. I've had people kind of stop me, at the Basin Reserve to remind me why I'm not batting up the order, or you have people telling me you don't spin the ball. I've even had comments say you're ugly. So it's like, oh, I can't really do anything about that, can I? But I've had a lot of interesting critical comments come my way, and I think I've realized I need to have my people that I will only take constructive feedback from. Those are my coaches, my managers, my family, and my closest friends. And the more I've built this amazing support network, the more I've realized that criticism is going to come my way. The harder I work and the more success I get from it. And when you kind of reach a level of success, I think people will come at me. And that's a compliment in itself. It means I might be doing something right. And for that, I'm really proud of myself. And I think criticism are negative human beings behind a screen. They're really sad with their lives, and I don't want to be a part of that. I'm sorry that that's happening, but yeah. But look, I just ignore it and focus on what's important, and that's kind of my future and where I want to go, and they're not a part of my journey or my preparation. So, yeah, goodbye.
You carry such strong optimism, and we know that cricket demands immense focus and mental strength, especially in high pressure situations. How do you manage setbacks or pressure on the field?
Yeah, I think every season has been a little bit of a setback, you know, not getting a call up for the White Ferns or the New Zealand North v South series. That's probably one of the biggest setbacks for me. And it's only really going to make me stronger. Like I must admit, it only gets me more ambitious. My optimism is through the roof. I'm still really, really young, and it's going to make me work 10 times harder than I ever will. Every year, I feel like there's kind of a new beast that comes out of me. So I think how I deal with setbacks is I see it as an opportunity to just get better and better, and I'm never really put down in a hole, and if I am, it's only for maybe an hour or two, because I know what I need to do. I'm focused, and I know what's required to get there, to get to the top, and I will do it. So it's just being very clear, and just having my support crew to remind me of what I must do, and that's all I need to do, and that's all I need to focus on. So yeah.
You have got such an energetic and cool personality, but have there been moments when you felt low? How did you cope up with those times?
Yeah, I've had loads of moments. So like 2 or 3 years ago, on the field, on TV, Super Smash, I used to have a lot of panic attacks, and that was awful, and it was something I never told anyone about. None of the Blaze girls know, and only my sports psychologist at the time was trying to work through it with me. It never resulted in me underperforming. I mean, it may have in that kind of 3rd year where I couldn't deal with it. But yeah, look, I've had a lot of anxiety, performance anxiety actually, and it came from social media, and I think it was the talk from people saying I was the next big thing, and I had this level of expectation was way higher than my skill set, and I thought I was better than what I was, and then it didn't come out the way I wanted it to, and that's just a huge reflection on my end after the season, hence why I've come to England to kind of figure that out. But I had a sports psychologist that kind of sat me down, and we talked around breathing techniques, and it was understanding how to control my mind, you know, the red zone versus blue zone, and trusting the process, trusting my preparation. And the more I understood that, the better it became. And I am mentally in the best space I've ever been because of it. And yeah, really, really. But yeah, so I never was so energetic. I was quite low in the kind of 2nd, 3rd year of my Blaze career, but things are getting better, and yeah, mentally in a fantastic space now.
New Zealand had such huge stars. Does it feel surreal to share the field with them or even take their wicket?
Yeah, I mean, when I take, you know, big names wickets, I mean, like one of them is Susie Bates, and like, you know, she as a young kid, she gets talked about all the time, and so it's a pretty surreal feeling to think that you know, you're good enough to get a player of such a high standard out, and you know, she's such a lovely human as well. But yeah, you're right, it's a surreal feeling. You have to pinch yourself here and there, but now it's time to think, how can I become just as good or even better than these players? And that's kind of where I'm at the moment, and it's going to take a lot of work, but yeah, so no, it is very surreal, and I'm very, very lucky, very, very lucky and grateful.
So you play Super Smash and have a lot of white ball experience. We know that in New Zealand, women don't feature in red ball format. Do you wish to play Test cricket someday?
Oh my gosh, yes. I love Test cricket so much. I would love to play Test cricket. That would, you know, I would, you know, die for Test cricket, really. Yeah, I think New Zealand's focus is just to master the the one-dayers and the T20s. I think that's a priority for us, and it's growing year by year, and it's really, really exciting for us. And it's really, really cool for New Zealand to sit back and watch, you know, the Australian, English, Indian kind of test series. I think it's really good in terms of educational purposes and kind of what we're looking at in the future. And so I hope in the future that test cricket will come our way. But yeah, a lot of white ball cricket. I play a little bit of red ball here in England in the men's game. That's very interesting. It's a very different ballpark, that. So it's good. It's good to get a little bit of practice before it happens in the future. But yeah, no, it will happen over time, I think.
Being active on social media can have its downsides, like trolls and mean comments. How do you handle them?
Yeah, the mean comments are, they're mean. And look, they are behind a screen and kind of chatting. Like, I would like them to talk to come to my face and tell me. And I think, again, I just ignore them. If they're inappropriate, I delete them. But yeah, I don't pay enough attention to my comment section as much as I should, or my, you know, DMs or anything. So I purely ignore them. Again, this is, you know, my journey doesn't involve their feedback or their criticism. I think they're severely unqualified, the comment section. So I will just focus on my preparation with my coaches. And yeah, that's kind of how I deal with it.
Apart from Instagram, you're also active on YouTube. Who is your favorite YouTuber?
My favorite YouTuber is very basic. It's Mr. Beast. So yeah, Mr. Beast. And then I also watched a few like Minecraft YouTubers, which is very nerdy of me to say out loud.
In case you were to visit India, apart from Delhi, which other places would you like to visit?
Mumbai would be one of them. Probably. I'm not too sure if I'm going to pronounce the name of this one right, so please correct me. I think it's Bangalore. Is it Bangalore? Like, am I saying it right?
No, it's Bangalore.
Oh my gosh, I can't say it. I apologize. It's my accent. I would go there, and yeah, I think those are the three main places I would like to go, but predominantly north of India, ideally. But yeah, I just want to go over there and play cricket. Wherever in India it is, I want to go play cricket. So
yes, India has so many iconic stadiums. You surely love the experience of playing cricket.
I think I would fall in love with it just because of all the cricket stadiums and the cricket obsessed people. Yeah. I just would love to go.
Have you ever watched an India versus New Zealand match live in the stadium?
No, I haven't actually. There's been a few at the Basin Reserve and I've never really managed to, and I think it's probably because I've been playing cricket myself and I've never been able to. But you know, I've been on telly, I've been watching on telly, and I guess that's kind of the closest I've been to watching an India versus NZ match. And when I do, I get very conflicted because I don't know who to support sometimes. Probably more New Zealand, but yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that many people at your house speak Hindi. Are you planning to learn the language?
Yes, I am. Yeah, as the firstborn, Dad has been pretty clear that he's going to teach me. And it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a tough journey, but I'm willing to take it on the chin and work on it. So when I do get myself to India, I can have great conversations with amazing people. So no, I'm looking forward to it.
Since you have a good understanding of Indian culture, traditions and festivals, what's your favorite festival in India?
There's a colour throwing one. I'm not too sure what that is. That, yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, you're laughing.
Yeah, it's Holi.
Yes, that's right. That's one that I remember as a kid, my dad telling me about. But yeah, I've heard of a lot of festivals that India do, but I never really was up to date with them as a kid. So I'm not very educated. But yeah, I know my granddad and my grandma did a lot of celebrations and used to go back. I don't know if I'm lying here, but I think they used to go back and do a lot of celebrations with family, I'd assume. But again, I have no idea, which is not great from me. But
have you tried any Indian cuisine or any favorite?
Yeah, I'm a Subsy. I grew up with like Subsies. Yeah, I know I'm saying it wrong, but this is how I was brought up.
No.
Okay, and I apologize. And I
No.
used to have a lot of like chickpea curries. My favorite food growing up was Idli. I don't know if I'm saying that right again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to have it with sambhar, etc. So
Yeah.
I was obsessed. So for my birthday, my grandma made me a idli cake, a cake full of idli and with birthday candles in it, and it was with chutney and sambhar. Yeah, that was amazing.
So if you visit Bangalore someday, you would love to have Idli-Sambhar there because that's part of South India. So it's a South Indian food. So you would love it.
Yeah, no, I would love that. That is my ultimate favorite food.
Have you watched any Indian movie or any favorite?
I used to sit down with my grandma and watch I watched a Bollywood series, and it was, you know, a relationship series, and my grandma was hooked, and me and my brother used to sit there and watch. And before, they used to have ads, and they used to say, you know, lingers on my fingers or something beforehand. That's what they used to say, and it was something to do with food. And I remember me and my brother used to like make fun of that saying, and we used to say it all the time. I need to ask my dad the name of the series, but that's something I used to watch. But that's the only one I remember ever. I love the drama of Bollywood series. I love it.
Do you have a favorite song or artist?
Favorite song? A favorite song. I've got so many songs. There is a song called Lifetimes by Katy Perry that's just come out. That's been really cool. But I have a favorite artist, and that's David Bowie. He is ultimately my favorite artist. Yeah. And growing up, all I would listen to was his music. So.
Have you listened to any Bollywood or Hindi song?
No, I haven't actually. I've never really. Yeah, I know my dad probably has, so I'm gonna have to ask him a few questions. There is one song that gets when there's Indian matches that keeps getting put on, that I know very well, and all the cricketers know very well. So I have to get it out. But yeah, I don't know many songs.
Being Western born but have a strong connection to Indian culture, what are your views on Indian festivals compared to Western culture?
I think like the Indian culture is fantastic, and I love it, and I think the food is amazing, and the ways, the different languages and the different religions within India is just fantastic. So I think that's just beautiful. And in New Zealand, we've obviously like got Te Reo Māori, which is amazing, and I've kind of grown up with that culture, and that's just as good too. So look, I love culture, and I love being half Indian, half Kiwi. I need to learn more about like my Indian kind of ancestry so that I can really go back to my roots properly. I think that's really, really important for me as I've grown up in cricket, that I really want to do. So,
which team would you like to see lift the Women's T20 World Cup, other than New Zealand, of course?
I mean, you'd have to say the India women. I think they're a class side. I think they're a fantastic side, and you know, they deserve a little bit more success. And I think, you know, I've been told they work really, really hard and technically really nice with the bat. Fantastic spinners. So I wish them all the best. You've also got the Australian women that are, you know, dominant throughout. And, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if they end up winning the World Cup. And I think they're class, and they've got fantastic young players like, you know, Phoebe Litchfield, who I think is a class act for her age, and will contribute heaps, I'd assume. So no, it will be interesting. It's, you know, cricket's an unpredictable sport, and kind of depends on the day who's going to win. So I'm looking forward to it.
Given your love for franchisee cricket, which tournament is your favorite? The WCPL, WPL, the 100, or the WBPL?
Yeah, I think, I don't want to rank them, but I would say that they're all just fantastic opportunities for women to play as much cricket as possible. I've said this before, I think franchise is so important for the growth of the game, and it allows people with not so much international experience to kind of play on a global platform. And then you've also got, I guess, high-class international players being the ones to lift that standard. And I think that's been really, really cool. And I think all franchises offer something really exciting, and that's growing women's cricket, and that's the goal for us in the next kind of 5 to 10 years. So, no, I love that franchise exists and that there's that it's getting better every year.
If given the chance, would you like to play in the Women's Premier League in India? Which team would you like to play for, and alongside of which player?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, this is me and my dreams, really. But so there are two teams. So RCB obviously would be fantastic. I would love to play RCB. But I would like to be in the Mumbai Indians. Now that is the team I really want to be in. Mumbai Indians is, hands down. I'm not too sure what. I don't really have a particular player that I'd like to be with. But I think, I'd like to say hi to Elise Perry. I'm a little bit of a fangirl. Hey, how are you? Do you know who I am? But she backs up her hype with world-class performances, and that's something I have total respect for. Everyone tells me that she's a fantastic player, and then she ends up scoring runs and taking wickets, and it's like, well, there it is. And I think that's great. There's not enough of that sometimes. So it would be good to play alongside her one day, or even against her and get her out.
You also follow men's cricket as well. So which is your favorite Indian Premier League team?
Probably RCB. Yeah, and the men's stuff.
So RCB in men's and Mumbai Indians for women.
Yeah, Mumbai for women's. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
This preference brings to my mind the ongoing debate on social media between fans of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. If you were to pick one, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, this is a scary question. I think that, oh my gosh, this is really difficult because you can't really compare the two. They're both class acts. I think they're fantastic players. Look, I'm gonna say Rohit Sharma. That's gonna be very I'm interested to see what people say. I think, if you were to say Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, like the difference is so little. I think they're both fantastic players. So I struggle with that question, but let's say Rohit for now.
Now that you have picked Rohit Sharma, who would you choose between him or Kane Williamson?
Kane Williamson. Kane Williamson is great. He is an amazing bat to watch, and an all round a lovely human and a fantastic leader. So I have a lot of respect for Kane and what he's done for cricket in New Zealand. So he's our captain. I love him. He's great.
Now let's dive into the fun segment. I'll give you 2 spin bowlers at a time, and you'll choose the best one while eliminating the other. We'll continue with the chosen option against new ones until we find our ultimate best spinner.
Okay, I'll try my best here. Okay, let's go.
So let's go with it. Nida Dar or Hayley Matthews?
Hayley Matthews.
Hayley Matthews or Alana King?
Hayley Matthews.
Hayley Matthews or Fran Jonas?
Hayley Matthews.
Hayley Matthews or Deepti Sharma?
Hayley Matthews. Wow.
Hayley Matthews or Jess Jonathan?
Jess.
That's a different.
Yeah.
Jess Jonathan or Sarah Glenn?
Jess.
Jess or Ashley Gardner?
Ashley Gardner.
Ashley Gardner or Lias Kasperick?
Oh gosh. Ashley Gardner. She's gonna. Oh, I hope she does not see that. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, make it tougher, I guess. So, Ashley Gardner or Sophie Eccleston?
Eccleston.
Sophie Eccleston or Charlie Dean?
Charlie Dean. You knew straight away you were gonna ask this. Charlie Dean.
Yeah. That was really fun, and I feel that was a little bit tough for you, I feel. In the middle.
I mean, it was quite embarrassing when I kept saying Hayley Matthews like 4 times, and I was like, she's gonna win in the end. But yeah, no, Charlie Dean wins. Eccleston's class, Lee Casbrick's class. They're all a class act, so it's hard to compare all of these amazing players. But yeah.
Now let's move on to the rapid fire round. I'll ask you a series of questions and you need to answer them quickly.
Who is your favorite all-rounder?
Oh gosh, now I'm failing. Sophie Devine.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Who is your favorite batter?
Oh my gosh, this is not rapid fire at all. Hayley Matthews.
Who is your favorite wicket keeper?
Amy Jones.
Who is your favorite bowler?
Bowler. Oi, Charlie Dean.
What's your favorite WPL team?
Mumbai Indians.
So what's your favorite The 100 team?
100 team.
Yeah.
Southern Brave.
What's your favorite WBBL team?
Renegades.
So hat-trick or fifer?
Fifer.
What's your favorite food?
Idli.
What's your favorite place?
In the world? Favorite place?
Yeah. Yeah.
Switzerland.
Oh. Have you visited there?
I did. I went to Zurich and it was a beautiful place and I fell in love with it. It's expensive, but it's beautiful.
Let's move to our final segment. I'll provide a list of players and you'll describe each one just using a single word. So let's begin.
Charlie Dean.
Class.
Susie Bates.
Humble.
Sophie Devine.
Motivator.
Amelia Kerr.
Kind.
The Indian skipper Harmanpreet Kaur.
Fierce.
Chamari Attapattu.
Powerful.
Laura Wolfhard.
Technically sound. 2 words, but I'm saying technically sound.
Marizan Camp.
Quick.
Amy Satterthwaite.
Leader.
Smriti Mandana.
Beautiful. She is.
Elise Perry.
Oh! First class. Oh gosh.
Virat Kohli.
Oh wow. Virat Kohli. Let's think of this one. Oh my gosh. Cover Drive.
Yeah. Rohit Sharma.
Power.
Kane Williamson.
Humble. Humble, yeah.
Yeah. And Nathan Lyon.
Ragger. That's what I'm gonna say because he spins a ton. That guy. Test cricket. I love Nathan Lyon. Fantastic.
Great. Well, that was a fun conversation. We hope to see you next time, perhaps someday in India. We would love to host you and have more cricket conversations with you. On that note, I would like to thank you for your time and for joining us on Around the Globe with Female Cricket. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Thank you. Or in Hindi, as we say, Dhanyavad.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I loved it. This was great. Thank you for having me.